Hey pretty sweet gang, Mo here, and today we will be mimicking these cute little conversation hearts that I found at the Dollar Tree today. They are little wooden signs and I thought they were so adorable that they inspired me to create this video for you guys. And so we're going to just get right into it. I already have my chocolate melted and ready to go. This is a cakesicle mold that I'm using, but we will not be adding the sticks to these treats today. You will also be able to find the link for this mold in the description below. It's actually a link for my Amazon store, so go ahead and shop my store. I really appreciate the support. Also, you want to check under the Valentine's Day section, and that's where this mold will be. And you can shop like the chocolate covered treat section, and you will find other tools and supplies that you can use to make this, as well as the silicone mold that I'm going to use to put the text on top of the hearts. So I'm just going to go right in. I'm starting with my purple melted chocolate, and I'm just going to go ahead and fill my cavities. As you see here, I'm using the back of just an old plastic spoon to kind of just like coat the entire mold, because you just really want to make sure that you get the sides of the molds coated really well. And I'm just going to repeat this step for all 4 cavities, and I'll be using a different color for each mold cavity today so that I can create all 4 colors like I showed you guys at the beginning of the video. I just thought those signs were so cute, and I was so excited to be able to find them. I've been looking for them ever since the Dollar Tree started putting out their Valentine's Day decorations, and at first I was a little discouraged because I couldn't find them, but finally, when I wasn't really looking for them, of course, that always happens, I ended up running across them. So yeah, that's what inspired this video. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll kind of be popping in and out to explain what I'm doing. Right now, I'm just going to continue to repeat these steps until each cavity is filled. And when we get to the next step, I'll be right back chiming in. So guys, what I'm doing here is just kind of going back over my cavities again, just to make sure everything is coated very well, because the chocolate is starting to set a little bit, but it's still melted. And then you want to just make sure you tap your mold on the a flat surface gently, just so that you can get any air bubbles to come up, so that once you pull your treats out of the mold, you don't have like little air pockets or little holes on top of your treat. And I'm just kind of like moving that chocolate around, and then I placed my mold in the fridge for about 10 minutes to let the chocolate set. If you do realize that you have any like open spaces, like at this point, you can just go right ahead with the back of your spoon and take a little more of that melted chocolate and fill those holes in, and then place it back in the fridge for a few minutes. It'll set really quick because your chocolate in your mold is cold at this point. So everything looked good on my end, so I'm just gonna go right in with some chocolate cake and go ahead and smash that into each cavity. I'm not filling it completely because I want to leave a little space so that I have flat backs on the back of this heart, and I also want to make sure that everything closes nicely and I don't have any holes or anything with any cake like squeezing out from the sides of my treats. So you don't want to overfill your mold. You want to just, fill it just enough that there's a nice bite of cake inside, and so that you'll be able to cover it completely. So we're going to just go ahead and complete these steps for each cavity, and again, I'll be back. Okay, so since we have all of our chocolate filled in all of our hearts, we're going to just go right back in with the correct colors, and we are just going to fill in the backs. And you just want to go right in and pour some of your melted chocolate on top. Be careful not to pour too much so you don't make a big mess and have like sloppy edges and everything. And then you just want to take your spoon and just spread that around. If you're more comfortable with using a piping bag, I recommend that you definitely do that. But you can just go ahead and use your spoon to smooth, and it's not going to be perfect at first, but you'll see we will just kind of lift our mold and tap again to kind of just, there we go, to smooth out that chocolate. And we're going to complete this step for the other 3 cavities, and I'll be back to explain the next step. Okay guys, so once we have this step completed, we're going to go ahead and pop our mold back in the fridge for about 5, maybe up to 10 minutes. It just depends on the temperature in your home and everything, or if your mold is still chilled, if you're working faster or slower or whatever. But it shouldn't take any longer than 10 minutes. If you want to be safe, 10 minutes to make sure the chocolate is completely set all the way through and on both sides and everything. But you just want to give your mold a little tap so you can get some of those air bubbles out, and also flatten the backs of your chocolate. And if they're not completely perfect, it's okay, guys. People really get stressed out about the back of their treats not being perfect, but nobody ever sees the backs until they're picking up the treat and ready to eat it, and at that point no one really cares. Just do the best you can. Nothing's ever perfect, so it'll be okay. Don't get stressed out about it. So now, as you see here, I'm going to put on a pair of white cotton gloves. Cotton gloves are good to use when you're handling chocolate and when you have to use your hands to get them out the molds and everything. What it does is it creates a barrier between your hands and the chocolate, so that if your hands are warm, you don't end up with fingerprints in your chocolate. And also from the oils that are in your hand can also leave prints on your chocolate. So I know a lot of people sometimes have the vinyl gloves, and that's kind of fine. But if you have really warm hands, if your body temperature is a little warmer than most people, then you just don't want to take the chance of kind of melting the chocolate and melting your fingerprints into the chocolate. So we're just going to pop those out of the mold. Look at how beautiful and shiny those are. And we already have my letters molded out. And you will also be able to find the silicone mold that I used to create the text for my hearts also in my Amazon store. And like I said, that link will be in the description box below. And here I have piping gel. Now there are a couple ways you can do this. It may get a little sloppy if you try to add your text on with chocolate. It just depends on how good you are with working with chocolate. I'm using piping gel and a paintbrush, and I'm just gonna put a little piping gel on top of my conversation hearts and add the letters where I want them to be. And also, if you have a small kitchen torch, you can just take that, light it up, and go across the area in your heart really quick, swipe across maybe 2 or 3 times just to soften up that chocolate in that area a little bit, and place your hearts on there. Just be careful that you don't do it too much and end up melting your heart. But I'm out of fluid in my lighter, so I can't use that today. So I'm just going to use some plain old clear piping gel. And we're just going to go ahead and line up our text and try to make sure everything is neat and straight as possible. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and complete this step for all of the hearts, and I'll be back. OMG, guys, I apologize. Sometimes I just get in the zone and I forget that I'm recording and my hair is covering the camera lens. I apologize for that, but I'm just completing the same steps, just putting a little line of piping gel and adding my letters. And sometimes my sight just gets a little wonky, so I have to get a little closer than normal. These turned out really cute, and I'm so happy with the outcome. I hope you guys decide to try them. Don't forget to check the description box below for the link so that you can find the supplies to create these treats in my Amazon store. We're going to have one more step. I'm going to go ahead. I want a little shimmer to these. They're very cute, but just to give it a little more depth, I'm going to go ahead and spray a little light shimmer on them. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And if you are a subscriber, hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. See you soon.